If you're driving in Illinois with minimum car insurance, you're probably one accident away from a serious financial problem. Illinois has some of the highest uninsured driver rates in the Midwest, and because it's an at-fault state, the costs add up fast. Most people carrying state minimums have no idea how exposed they actually are. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly what Illinois requires, where the real gaps are, and what coverage actually makes sense for your situation. Illinois law requires three things: 25,000 in bodily injury per person, 50,000 per accident, and 20,000 for property damage. You also need uninsured motorist coverage at the same limits, because about one in every 8 drivers out there is carrying nothing. Here's the problem, and I see this in my agency all the time. Those minimums sound fine until you actually have a serious accident. One ER visit runs $3,500. A broken leg, surgery, rehab, you're looking at $150,000 or more. Your 25,000 limit doesn't come close. Illinois is an at-fault state, which means whoever causes the accident pays. If you cause a crash that injures someone and rack up $150,000 in medical bills, but you only have $25,000 in coverage, that person can sue you personally for the $125,000 gap. That's a wage garnishment. That's asset seizure. That's why asset protection matters more in Illinois than just checking a legal box. My recommendation for most Illinois drivers is 100,000 bodily injury per person, 300,000 per accident, and 100,000 property damage. The premium difference between state minimums and that coverage is usually $200 to $400 a year. The protection difference is everything. Also add underinsured motorist coverage, not required in Illinois, but absolutely necessary, because people driving around with minimums will cause maximum damage. If you're in Chicago, your rates are going to be significantly higher than if you're downstate. Chicago has auto theft rates 3 to 4 times the national average, denser traffic, and higher medical costs. I had a client move from downstate Illinois up to the Chicago suburbs, and even though his driving record was clean and nothing else changed, his rate jumped almost 40%. Downstate drivers get a break because there's less theft, less congestion, and lower litigation costs. Here's what I see go wrong the most. People buy the minimum coverage because it's the cheapest, thinking they'll never get in a serious accident. That's the exact moment they end up in one. I had a client cause an accident last year. Her medical bills alone hit 120,000, and she was sitting there with a 25,000 limit. We ended up fighting that claim for months. It would have cost her maybe $15 a month more to have decent coverage from day one. Call us right now at 763-733-7475. We're licensed in Illinois and across the Midwest, and